Good morning to Madam and fellow audience. My name is Leong and my MATRIC number is 279559. I'm glad to have this opportunity to share my topic about we should stop wearing fur clothing. Let us start with a brief on fur clothing. Since some animals are not easy to rear or hunt, and due to the complicated process of the fur garment, fur clothing is at a higher price level compared with ordinary fabric clothing. Therefore, people believe that fur clothing could give a luxurious and atmospheric impression while providing good warmth. In addition, Christian Dior, Fendi, Alberta Ferretti, Laura Piana, and other luxury fashion brands have launched a series of fur clothing. This circumstance made people widely believe that wearing fur clothing was legally no wrong and thought that it was a mark of riches and social status. It is true that humans used animals' fur as clothing in ancient times, since they were not knowledgeable about how to make fabric through weaving. However, nowadays, buying and wearing fur apparel is cruel and unneeded, as we could choose to wear fur clothing or fabric clothes. While we might gain the spotlight or more in wearing fur clothing, but there is a huge sacrifice behind it. Wearing fur clothing would negatively impact the environment, health, and animal rights. Let us start with the negative impact of wearing fur clothing on the aspect of the environment. A widespread misconception about fur is that natural raw materials are environmentally friendly. However, the reality is quite different, as fur clothing could negatively impact the environment. One of the significant environmental impact is fur cloth production could contribute to water pollution. Wearing fur clothing means that there is a demand for fur clothing production. Even just one fur clothing can cause environmental problems because the process of making fur garments from animal skin will have a huge impact on pollution. Fur factory farms could generate approximately 20 kg of fecal waste for every mink skin produced. The amount of mink slaughtered worldwide is about 32.4 million, with the production of the excrement of around 684,000 tons. In order to maximize profit, fur farms often dump manures, extra feed, and carcasses into wetlands without regard for the environment. The excessive phosphorus from animal waste entering the water source will cause the toxic algae and aquatic plants to bloom widely. These fast-growing aquatic plants consume dissolved oxygen as it decays in water, and when dissolved oxygen levels are too low, it can cause damage to aquatic ecosystem. Besides, fur clothes production also could contribute to air pollution. According to the World Bank, fur garments production is one of the 5 most polluting hazardous metal industry in the world. The waste from the fur animals could cause the emission of ammonia and nitrous oxide and lead to the particulate matter formation. One of the leading fur producers countries, Denmark, has slaughtered more than 19 million minks each year for their fur, causing more than 8,000 pounds of ammonia to be discharged into the air each year. Excessive ammonia emission can lead to increased acid deposition or acidification and potentially contribute to climate change. According to MTT Agri-Food Research Finland, the carbon footprint of a mink skin is about equivalent to that of a regular Finnish consumer's daily footprint, while the carbon footprint of fox fur is roughly equivalent to 3 days. Therefore, it shows that wearing fur clothing is not eco-friendly, and we should stop it as the fur substitutes have a relatively smaller environmental footprints. Moreover, wearing fur clothing could cause biodiversity loss. Fur clothing is made from the fur of animals such as rabbits, foxes, minks, raccoons, and other rare animals. Therefore, wearing fur clothing means that these animals are being sacrificed to produce fur clothing, which has a negative impact on biodiversity, leading to the reduction or even extinction of numerous fur animals and wildlife. Besides, the fur animals such as foxes in farming mainly consume animal feed formulations based on dry fish. This situation has caused overfishing and destroyed the offshore fishery resources. Just imagine if everyone owned a piece of fur clothing, then more production will be required, which means that the factory will release more waste and animal manure, and the water source ecology will suffer greater damage. Therefore, we should stop wearing fur clothing as one of the ways to protect our environment. Let us move on to the negative impact of wearing fur clothing from a health perspective. We should stop wearing fur clothing because wearing fur clothing could even threaten human health. Clothing made from animal fur contains chemicals that are harmful to human health. Fur could be so-called natural only when it was still a part of fur animals. Once the furs are removed from the animals, they will be treated with chemicals to make them more durable and prevent them from decomposing. From 2011 to 2015, there are several independent research projects were carried out in Europe. The scientific research findings have found the potential risk of fur clothing products. According to the findings of 3 experimental research units in Germany, Denmark, and Italy, animals' fur contains pentychlorophenols, formaldehydes, hexavalent chromiums, and even heavy metals. Some clothing brands such as Canada Goose, D&G, Nicholson, and Woolrich have discovered hazardous quantity of chemical substances such as ethoxylates in the fur threads of their children's clothing, which can cause skin irritation. These chemical substances on the fur clothing could pass through the porous cortex of our skin and be absorbed as we wear it. The absorption of chemical substances by the human body may harm our health. Besides the health of the consumers who wear it, the chemical substances in the fur clothing also will threaten the health of the workers in the fur clothing industry. For instance, formaldehyde on the fur clothing can induce allergies and cancer, and hexavalent chromium can cause damage to the kidneys, nerves, and reproductive system, seriously endangering the health. On top of that, wearing fur clothing can negatively impact animal rights. Fur animals lose their right to live a natural life when they stay on fur factory farms. During an undercover investigation, animals were found living in filthy wire cages without adequate food, water, and veterinary care. Infuriatingly, some fur animals were even forced to live next to the rotting carcasses of their cagemates. The fur animals were forced to live tragically short lives in iron cages and lost their freedom. The crowded, closed environment and the aging of the iron cage have caused considerable physical damage to these furry animals. Under the artificial breeding of fur farms, animals originally sensitive and hidden began to behave extremely abnormally, either constantly spinning in circles or not moving. Some of them even resort to cannibalism and self-mutilation. Sadly, many animals have been killed for fur clothing production. In order to satisfy the demand for fur clothing, more than 100 million animals are farmed and killed globally for fur supply. At the time furry animals were still conscious and able to feel pain, they were forced to undergo painful processes such as gassing, electrocution, and neck snapping just to obtain the integrity of their fur. After skin removal, the fur animal carcasses are not treated ethically because some farmers chop up the skinned animal carcasses and feed them to other fur animals to set off feed costs. In conclusion, wearing fur clothing is unnecessary and cruel in our life as it serves no benefit. If we choose to wear fur clothing, we are destroying our world for the future, for the next generation. As we know, when the buying stops, the killing can too. I believe that if we stop wearing fur clothing, the fashion industry will enter a new and sustainable era of fur-free. Thus, customers should consume ethically and only buy clothing from brands that are committed to improve their social and environmental impact. As future leader and decision maker of the market industry, we have the responsibility to move the world toward a fur-free and sustainable future. Hoping by listening to this speech, you all can say no to fur clothing in order to make ourselves become human who care about animals' rights, the environment, and even our own health. That's all from me. Thanks for watching.